የተወደዳችሁ የሰላም ካቶሊክ ቲቪ ተመልካቾች በዛሬው ቤተክርስቲያን በተልዕኮ ላይ በተሰኘ ፕሮግራማችን እዚህ በሳሌዣን አባቶች ገዳም ውስጥ እንገኛለን። በስቱዲዮ አይደለም፣ ምክንያት አለን። የሳሌዣን አባቶች በኢትዮጵያ 50ኛ በዚህ በኢትዮጵያ ተልዕኳቸውን የጀመሩበት ዓመት ያከበሩ ስለሆነ እዚህ በገዳማቸው ለረጅም ጊዜ የሳሌዣን አባቶች አባል የሆኑት ብራዘር ቼዛሬን እዚህ ለማነጋገር መጥተን እዚህ እንገኛለን። እንግዲህ በዚህ ፕሮግራም የበለጠ 50 ዓመት ያህል የሳሌዣን ዶን ቦስኮ አባቶች በኢትዮጵያ የሰሩት ስራ የበለጠ ግንዛቤ እናገኝበታለን የሚል እምነት አለን። አብራችሁን ቆዩ። እንግዳዬ በእንግሊዝኛ ነው ዛሬ ቃለ መጠየቅ ወይም ደግሞ ቆይታ የምናደርገው እና አብራችሁን ይህንን ፕሮግራም የተከታተላችሁ እንድትቆዩ እንጋብዛለን። Brother Cesare Bullo, brother of the Salesians of Don Bosco. And this year we came to your office on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the Don Bosco fathers and brothers. They started their mission 50 years ago, and now you are celebrating this 50th anniversary. It's a golden jubilee, a joyful occasion, and you said that this time I will give interview, but we asked you in the past, but you said you don't like interviews, but on the occasion of the Golden Jubilee, you accepted our invitation, and we are very happy to be with you, and I hope you will give us insight into the 50 years of the missionary work of the Salesians of Don Bosco here in Ethiopia. You started here 50 years ago, and you are the best, member of the congregation to give insight into all what they have done here. And I will ask you to introduce yourself a little bit, and then I will ask you a few questions about your early vocation and also the mission and your missionary life in general. But later on also we'll discuss about the 50 years of activity here in Ethiopia and your role in that as well. So it would be good also to introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you. So introducing myself, okay, I'm Brother Cesare, and I was born 84 years ago in Italy. And as a child, my family, my father was a fisherman near Venice in the north part of Italy. And I have 3 sisters, and myself, I am the oldest of the family, so we are 4 brothers and sisters. Then when I was a child, I was going to the oratory, so to the Salesian school in my village. I started when I was 6 years old, and I was fascinated by the life of the priests and the brothers there, so that eventually I want to join them. And here I am. After so many years, I'm still here, yes, working and doing what I can do. So that was a long time ago, after Second World War. So it was very difficult year. 47, 48, when I started school. It was just after the Second World War, so it was a very difficult time. And the villagers were living mostly with the work of my father, a fisherman. But the life in the village was really difficult. In fact, when we go and then we go back in our time, things change a lot now, for good, I hope.
Yes, yes. So it's your father was a fisherman,
yeah,
but you decided to become a different fisherman, joining the Salesians of Don Bosco, like in the Gospel. I will send you in the mission, not as a fisherman, but you didn't follow your father's profession, but you followed the call which Christ mentioned also in the gospel.
Different type of fishing.
Yes.
And I remember when I was a child, I wanted to go to fishing with my father. He was in the big boat. We were about 11 people on the boat. And my father did not want me to go to the sea. So I insisted. So finally, I will call you. So when I was 10, 11, he called me during the night at 2 o'clock. Very difficult to wake up. But then I was happy to go. But he chose the worst day he could choose. So that I was sick all the time on the sea. And then after the time, I didn't want to go fishing anymore.
So you have found another profession.
Yes. Then I was in the Salesian school, the technical school, and I became a carpenter. And then eventually it was what I was teaching for many years, just as my profession. And but no fishing anyway.
When you talk about vocation with people, there are different ways of starting or feeling that they are called to be a priest or a brother, and some say that my parents contributed to that, and some say that the parish priest where I was grown up as altar boy or whatever activities they were doing, how could you describe it? I mean, the early age of when you felt that you are called to join the Salesians with the charism.
Yeah, I think my vocation grew just with the Salesian in the oratory. And then when I was 6 years old, I was going there playing the parish, etc. And then the example of the Salesian that time just attracted me. And then I just continue with them. And then when I started my elementary school and high school, so I always had the contact with the Salesian. And every day, after the war, there was no other place to go to play. It was only the Salesian courtyard that could play. So, but there, my vocation grew there with the example of the Salesian who were there at those times.
Yes, yeah. And do you remember also the date that you decided to join the Salesians? It was in the context in which, during the war.
It's very difficult to remember the exact day, but it was in the early years when I was 10, 12, at the end of my elementary school.
It continued after that.
Then after that it continued, then I went to the school in Verona for 3 years. Then after that I went to the novitiate. I did my novitiate when I was 16, so I was not even 17 when I professed in the congregation. Those time it was quite common. We should be at least 16, so it was just on the exact time. Yes. Not a name, day 20, 25, but those times, 16, 17. Most of my companions in the novitiate were the same age, from 16 to 20 maximum. We were 21 novices at the time. So
how was it, with your confreres? I mean, when you started, how many young men who decided, to join in the novitiate and after, at that time, during the war?
Those times, there were a lot. For example, during my year novitiate in Italy, we are 400 novices, Salesian. Now if they have 10, they are lucky. So the difference is that those times it was quite, only in Italy. Yes. Now we are 400 all over the world, but at those times in Italy we are 400 already. But now, as I said, 8 or 10, so vocations are going down. Those times, maybe because of the time, and also there was not that, so family were also more numerous, so more children in the family. Yes. So that many factors helped also to join the religious life.
So you professed and you continued your mission. And it would be good also to hear a little bit about your first mission. I think it was to Vietnam.
Yeah, see, after my first profession, I was in Torino for 3 years for formation, continue my formation. Then after when I finished, I asked to go to the mission, and then I was sent to Vietnam. And that was, I left in 1962 for Vietnam, and I stayed from 1962 to 1975. During all the Vietnam War, there was the war between North and South Vietnam, and it was a really difficult time with a lot of involvement of other countries, etc. So it was difficult. But we started there also. I was working at the technical school, and we had the school I was about 600 orphan boarders, so we worked with them. And I stayed there for, as I said, 15 years. I was teaching carpentry, I was teaching industrial drafting, and then also I was in administration for many years.
Yes. With the charism of Don Bosco,
Yes,
Johannes Don Bosco. And what, I mean, when you are now in the mission, you started the work, and you had also the formation with the charism. And how was it? I mean, the theoretical formation, and then when you started the mission in Vietnam, were you with this charism connected immediately, or how was it? I mean, in a different country, or with the charism also putting it into practice the first time in abroad, not in Italy?
Yeah, it was quite something new at the beginning, but when you're young, you're courageous, so you don't see the problem, you see only you're enthusiastic, you want to do something new, so that, and I never had a really problem getting settled in a place, I mean, the first day when I arrived in Vietnam, the day after they sent me to class to teach. I was teaching industrial drafting as a 2 or 3 class together, 150 to other students. So I didn't know a word of the language, but so we were courageous at the time.
Yes.
There was no, we didn't think much about the difficulty. We tried to solve them more than creating.
That is also the blessing of the Catholic Church. It's a worldwide universal church, and as a Salesian, when you go to some other countries, you join a family there, also the Salesian family, so you get a warm welcome, and then you immerse yourself into the work in the ministry. So that's how many years did you stay there as a missionary?
In Vietnam, in Vietnam 13 years. Then after when South Vietnam collapsed, there was North Vietnam, the communist in South Vietnam was a pro-American. Then North Vietnam invaded the South, so they expelled all the missionary and they expelled all the foreigners. And they said you can come back after when your government start again in relation with the new government. So then I had to leave Vietnam after 13 years because of the change of the regime, etc. So I went to Italy, and then there was the possibility of starting the new mission in Ethiopia, and then there were already 2 Salesians ready to come, so they need a third one. And so I just arrived in Rome. They asked me, "Are you ready to go to Ethiopia?" I said, "Yeah, I am." And I came after a few months. I came to Ethiopia. And what was interesting that practically I had to leave Vietnam because the communists were taking over. I came to Ethiopia when communism was starting.
I see. So yes, that was a shift from one. So you had some experience in Vietnam, and then
yes,
here
there was some experience.
Yeah, a little bit about also your mission in Vietnam. It's also very important to know about the language and the culture is.
Those times it was quite easy to learn the language because when you're young, so first I had to start with French because there was a foreign language for French, and then Vietnamese, and I was teaching Vietnamese. But there was not much problem for the language. But it was quite easy. When you're young, I think you don't see difficulties.
Do you speak still Vietnamese?
I used to speak quite well, but now I'm forgetting a little bit.
Yes, of course, after so many years, yeah. So Ethiopia got the chance to have Brother Cesare here. That was in 1975, I suppose.
1975 was the first group when we became 3 Salesian. There was the Bishop of Vatigrad at the time, Abuna Haile Mariam. He was asking the Salesian to come to open a new technical school in Makale. But this time we could not accept because of too many commitments. So then the Bishop asked also to the many other congregations, the Jesuits, the Christian Brothers, but nobody could accept because of lack of personnel. So finally, the bishop just said he wanted the Salesian to go to Tigray, to Makale, so he encouraged some of his diocesan priests to become Salesian. And the 3 of them became Salesian. One is still Abba Baraki, which is still alive here in Makanisa. And then also one of them after was teaching in Lebanon, teaching philosophy in Lebanon. In the meantime, the Bishop of Vatigrad died. So this one, the diocesan priest who became a Salesian, became the new Bishop of Vatigrad, Abuna Sebat Lab. So and after that, then he insisted again with the superior and said, my predecessor encouraged us to become Salesian. Now I am the Bishop of the diocese. So finally, they accepted the first group of 3 people which came in 1975, October 1975.
Yes. I have here a booklet which was made, I think, 12 years ago or 13 years ago when you celebrated your 50th anniversary of the missionary life in general, Vietnam and Ethiopia. But you have here also a lot, the rest of your life you remained in Ethiopia as a missionary, and there are some pillars which I want to also to raise. And then starting with 1975, how do you remember that the first years of 1975 when you arrived?
When we came,
and then we will continue. But the start of the
when we came,
college.
we went, the 3 of us went to Makale. We had no house, of course. We stayed in the parish for the first year. Then we built our residence. In the meantime, we started working with the people, especially digging some wells and giving water to the people. So we started immediately just contact with the people. And then after 1 year, we built our own residence. Then after the residence, we built the technical school. After the technical school, the seminary. So things were just coming little by little. And but especially our main aim was education, technical education. And at the moment we have a lot of our former students, very well settled all over the country, also abroad. So that was quite a good time. But we start immediately, just even before starting the school, we start with social work, helping the people, especially with drilling of well and dug wells.
Yes, social activity and education, healthcare and different kinds of social activity.
That also make us contact with the people, and the people also, they were very happy to have us there, etc. We never had any problem with the people. In fact, we are part of the people of the area.
Yes.
Then after 2 or 3 years, we opened another school in Dilla. Also there we started with the technical school, the parish, etc. And then after that we continue. Now we have 13 communities, mostly school. We have 3 in Addis Abeba. Then we have Debre Zeit. Then we have Zwei, Adamitullo, Dilla, Soddo, Gambella, etc. So we are all over the country.
Yes,
and we have about, the moment, 100 Salesian, and the majority, about 80%, they are Ethiopian.
Yes. Yes. Now in the last 50 years, so from 0 to 80%.
Yeah. Just Ethiopian. Plus, we are still about 18, 20 missionaries from Italy, from Vietnam, from Spain, from Poland, so various countries. Our province is also from Uruguay, so we are still international.
Yes. So you have started the mission in Mekelle and then later on to other places. We will come to that as well, how it went to south, to Dilla or other places. But also immediately after, not immediately, maybe after 5 years, now there was this famous, famine in Ethiopia, especially in the north. And you have been also as
we became very much involved with the Catholic Church of Adigrat, so we are just helping the people. I remember when the first group of displaced people came from the countryside because of the famine in Mekelle, about in 48 hours, 120,000 people arrived in Mekelle. Starving people. So then we started immediately. And I was coordinating the relief operation on behalf of the Catholic Church at the time. And that was a big operation. Lasted 3 or 4 years. And it was because of the drought, because of lack of crops, but also because of the war. So there was a combination of difficult time.
Yeah, it was a very difficult time also. Yeah. The international cooperation, international Catholic Church.
The cooperation was really tremendous. There was a lot of talking about Ethiopia, and a lot of help was coming. If you're comparing with the, also recently there was some difficulty, but in those times help was really coming in massive help. So we could really help the people. But situation was really tremendous, disastrous.
How the Catholic Church at that time was, known in the country, a very strong, institution to intervene in this very difficult situation for the country, for the government. So how was the collaboration? How could you describe it, the collaboration with the government?
See, we had a very good collaboration. Okay, there was the various churches, Orthodox Church, Catholic Church, Mekane Jesu Church, and other church. They're working together.
This one, the GPR.
GPR, yes. They was working together. And then we have a very good relation also with the government, with the Red Cross. So we are really coordinated all together. There was a good way of collaborating at the time between the churches, Red Cross, and the government. So that we are successful because of that and because of the international help, Band Aid and all the concerts all over the world. Every day there was people, television coming to take a picture to see the situation, etc. Movie star and the politician, almost every day. There was a lot of help coming.
Yes. Was it the time that you have been collaborating with the former president, President Girma, or was it later?
He was at the time. He was working in Mekelle. He was in charge of the relief operation, logistic of the Red Cross at the time. Then eventually became president later on.
And then you had a very good contact also
later
on.
Very good. Yeah. Yes. We used to call him on the telephone a few times.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a good time, a memorable time for you also when you look back to those years. And I heard about the helicopter where...
we had a small plane, a Pilatus, so there was about 3 or 4 planes. Yeah. So we had a plane because all the roads were closed, so we had a 14 distribution center, but we move all the time with this small plane, about from 6 to 8 places plane. Yeah.
And then how did you get that?
Paying.
Renting out.
Yeah, renting.
Renting the helicopter. Yeah. Why did you call it a Pilatus?
That I think it's one town in Switzerland. There is a mountain called Pilatus, so they gave the name also the plane Pilatus.
Oh, it was from
It
Swiss?
has not to do with Pilatus of the Bible.
No.
It's a mountain in Switzerland, and the company is there, just in that area. So the name of the plane is just the Pilatus. We had one, then the Red Cross had one, but there's some frontiers, so we're sharing the plane. There were about 4 or 5 planes like that. So we could land almost everywhere, just 100 or 200 meter airway, it was enough. There was some sister from Lithuania, they wanted some help, said, okay, if you build an airstrip, we come to bring some help. In 3 days they make an airstrip, we landed.
So we went there. Yeah. So the pilot, was it an Ethiopian? Or?
No, they were mostly from Belgium. Yeah, the company was from, the pilot was from Belgium.
So how many months or 4 years?
Oh, we got the plane for about 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
So
because during the war, there was you have to travel with military convoys. So sometimes the road could be closed also 1 week, 2 weeks because of the war. So we are going by plane everywhere.
I didn't know that the Catholic Church had a plane, competing with Ethiopian Airlines.
We're not competing, but it was only for relief operation. Not for passengers. I mean, we could transport sick people, things like that. Yeah.
But after 4 years, then you terminated the contract?
Then the situation became better, so that the roads were open, so we started using the car. We used that one when the roads were closed.
When was it actually we have this story of the arrival of Mother Teresa the first time here in Ethiopia during the dark period? It was.
I remember Mother Teresa, she was coming to Ethiopia very often, but one of the times that she was a little bit longer was maybe 84, 85. She was coming quite often because of the situation. She was going to the camp to visit. I remember she was in our community one night, and then she picked up the telephone, she called Reagan to ask for food.
To the President of the United States?
Yeah.
She phoned him. I have
the red contact.
A picture here.
Yeah.
You have
she was, this one was in Makale.
In Makale. And you received her there?
I think 86 or 87, I think. Yeah.
And how did you feel, to see her at the...
Very simple person.
Yes.
Very simple. And very decided. She makes sure what she wants, she gets it. Yeah. For example, I remember once she flew from the United States to Europe, to Ethiopia, and she flew for about 16, 17 hours. She arrived in Makale. We asked her to go to rest, but no. She went just to give food to the patient. Immediately. And she was already old. She was over 70, almost 80. Very extraordinary person.
Yes.
But very decided. She knew what she wanted.
Yes, very, very decisive and steadfast. Yeah, she was. Yeah. So it's a blessing, and I had also the chance to meet her once in Rome, and I received also a blessing from her. Yeah, it's a special person, really, Saint Teresa of Calcutta. Yeah. So your mission continued later on after the famine. Also, the normal missionary work, especially on education.
Education, especially technical education. We have 7 technical schools. Makale, Adwa, Gambela, Dilla, Addis Ababa. So we have, and then also academic schools with a school with 20,000 students. We have about 35,000, 40,000 students all over.
Yeah, you have been more involved in the projects of the Salesians of Don Bosco, but there were others who were in those 50 years who were involved, more engaged in formation.
Yeah, just education is our main job, but when there is need, we do also relief work and especially just helping the people in need.
Yes.
Yeah. But education is our main target.
Yeah. Can you speak a little bit of the formation of having, a local priests? When did that more started and got, a good start? When was it? Where the formation houses?
Practically, we started immediately. After a few years, after we built our residence at the school, we built the seminary. So we started having young people to join us, so that, especially from our school, from our parishes, so that we started almost immediately. In fact, now from our provincial, we are Ethiopian, and then at least majority of the responsible for our schools, they are all Ethiopian. Yes. And the missionary, some of us are old already, so. But practically, the main work is done by Ethiopia. So I would say 90% is done by them.
I have to say, 1975, you started in Mekelle, and then in 1982, moved to Dilla. It was the first time that you moved, or the south, and then extended also.
Then after Dilla, we started Zwei, and then after Zwei, we started Adigrat. After Adigrat, we started Adwa, then Gambela, then Adamitullo, then Sodo, so just a little by little. Almost every 2 years a new foundation. Mostly, as I said, education. Education, we have also parish work. We have 4 or 5 parishes in Dilla, in Zwei, Adwa, etc. We have also parishes.
Yeah, and the way of Don Bosco always.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, just
with oratory and.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was also this project called the Project Africa. Is it also part of this?
That one was in 78, during the general chapter, the Superior General launched the idea of developing the Salesian charism in Africa. At that time, we were about 300 or 400 people in Africa in 4 or 5 countries. And then all the community, all the descent personnel, missionary, etc. And so practically that one was a real blessing, because from 300 over 40 years ago, we are over 2,500 now, Salesian in Africa. And we are in 43 countries now. Before we were only 3 or 4 countries, Egypt and South Africa, Congo, etc. But now at least 42, 43 countries we are there.
In the Africa?
In Africa, yeah. And there were a lot of vocation in Africa also, a lot of Salesian, African Salesian. I would say in Africa that the majority, minimum 80% that they are African. Also, most also our province director of schools, they are all African.
So the Project Africa worked well.
It was a real blessing.
So you have also connections, of course, all the provincials of Africa or the region.
Next week we'll be meeting here with all the provincials of Africa. They will come all here for the 50th anniversary. We invite them, so we'll have a meeting here with them.
Yes.
We have about 15 provinces in Africa.
50 provinces.
15, yeah.
15, 15.
15, yeah. Each province is about 200-300 Salesian.
Yes. So in some countries you have one provincial for various countries.
Yeah, like here we are Ethiopia, Eritrea.
Yes.
Other places it could be 2 or 3 countries.
Yes. That's good. So 15 provincials will be here for the meeting to also to celebrate.
The provincial, then also 2 or 3 superior from Rome, and the Vicar General was coming, so we'll have a big celebration.
It was next week. This week it will be in Mekelle, and
on the 12th we have the commemoration in Mekelle, because there we start, And then in the 19 we'll have the commemoration in Addis Ababa, more official.
Yes. So, summarizing, the mission work of the Salesians here in Ethiopia, within the Catholic Church, you have been now working with various dioceses the last 2 decades.
About 6 or 7 dioceses. And then, we just are part integrante of the Catholic Church, so we are not an organization out, but our main aim is just to work with the Church, and then we are part of the Catholic Church. So that's, in fact, we always say Ethiopia Catholic Church, Salesian Don Bosco is our official title.
In the 50 years that you are here in Ethiopia, how do you look back the whole missionary life you have had here?
Yeah, I think we can be happy that I think we are able to achieve something, and we hope to continue because it's very important to see the past, but look at the future. It's very important. But I think they were positive here. We had all the difficulty because we passed 3 or 4 different regimes, so there was also difficult war, especially in many places of the country. So we had some difficult times, but we are happy because we are closer to the people in need mostly. And so the people appreciate our work, and then we felt that we were able to do something with the help of many benefactors all over the world. Because we don't have any income, but all our funds come from donation and benefactor, etc. So that's we can be happy anyway.
So the blessings, as we count, if you count your blessings, I can count also with you. You mentioned earlier that you have 100 Salesians here in Ethiopia, and then you have 80 Ethiopian Salesians. So it's a blessing as well in 50 years' time. Compared with maybe other congregations, maybe you are more blessed than others. But you have also established many schools and colleges for the younger generation. I see here a booklet which you have been working here for many years, producing this kind of booklets, giving reports and nice pictures which are also done in different communities of the Salesians in different places, in different regions and dioceses. This is a blessing, giving perspective for the young generation, educating them and giving them to be self-reliant tomorrow, to lead a dignified life, but also to help their family, but also to contribute to the economy of the country, and after having their employment or self-employed people. So this is a big achievement as a missionary, together with brothers and the fathers. There was a lot of blessings which you can count, I think. But there were maybe to do all these things, there were challenges, I suppose.
Many challenges.
Many challenges. And how do you overcome these challenges? Maybe you can mention a few so that others can learn how you...
Just you have to take it easy. Prayer first, because you have to be a man of prayer also, which is very important for us a religious member of the church. But then also just see ahead, so that there are challenges, there are difficulties, but the importance is to overcome them. Because if we stop because of the difficulty, then we are lost. So you have to be courageous, continue. And the difficulty, they are always there. Everybody has difficulty, religious difficulty, families have difficulty, poor people, they have more difficulty than we have. So that it's important just to be courageous.
And then how do you remember the 50 years of presence here with the Catholic hierarchy? You have been working together with bishops and provincials, other provincials, with CMRS, the Conference of Major Religious Superiors, but also with many faithful. How would you remember all this, the connection with the Catholic Church. Not only Ethiopia, but you have been to Rome, you had an audience with John Paul II. I have seen pictures here in your office.
Our relation with the Bishop of Diocese, our congregation is very good. So it's important that as a church we have to work together. So we feel part, integral of the Catholic Church. So for us, the bishop is our reference. And so everywhere we have a very good relation with the local hierarchy and with the various congregations. So if you want to work, we feel part integral of the Catholic Church. So that's our aim to work according to the Catholic Church. And the relations are very good.
And how do you see the future of the Salesians here? Because I'm raising this, now we are finding ourselves in Ethiopia with around 120-30 million population, and 70% is under the age of 30. So education is very important, especially technical education, to create job or to be employed somewhere. So the Salesians have a big role to play here in the country. So how do you see the future, and how could you, how do you recommend your brothers to continue this work, or your fathers?
See, we have a lot of requests from bishop, also from local authority to open new school because there is need a special technical school. So the request is there, but our forces are limited. But it is very important to go in education, so especially to create jobs. What we are doing is very little compared to the need, because as you said, 130 million is not easy to... I remember when I came to Ethiopia 50 years ago, there were about 40 million. So there's a big growth. For example, Italy, I remember when I was going to school 70 years ago, there were 60 million. Now there are 60 million. Ethiopia in 50 years, they grew from 40 to 130, and they will keep growing. So it's a big challenge. New schools are needed, new jobs are created. So we give our contribution, and small, but it's something. If there are a lot of small contributions, can become big.
Yeah. That is one part of the mission of the St. John's of Don Bosco.
But the also
how do you see or recommend about the pastoral participation, the pastoral contribution of the Salesians of Don Bosco?
Well, see, our pastoral involvement is very important because, as I said before, we have many parishes. We have a school of what you call just oratory, so the people, they don't come only to play, but they come also to be trained, and so we try to form them to be good citizens, etc. So that this is very important, that to understand the role of the Salesian to train the people in the
faith,
good
values,
member of the society.
Yeah. Because this is very important, as we learn from Europe now, educating them only, with technical education or just theoretical education is not enough, to sustain a country or a population. So it is very important also to educate the person in faith and in values, and it's very important. Otherwise, and then, the essence of our mission will be very shallow.
Yeah, see, education is very important. We cannot just be only teacher, we have to be educator. So that's the most important thing. So with the school, also you have the chance to educate people, to make them good citizens, etc. So that is very important. They get honest and good citizens, so that's already a good achievement. And also for the good Christian, also because Ethiopia is a Christian country also, being Catholic, being Orthodox, doesn't matter, but as just a good Christian, also other religion also, because in our school the majority they are either Orthodox or Muslim. So we have very few Catholic in our school, also not too many compared to the number. So it's important for us to educate not only the Catholic but also the other people, especially to be good Christian, to be good Muslim, to be good just a citizen in general, honest.
Yes, that's very important. That's faith, formation of the faith, but also just forming them with skills so that they can sustain, they can be self-reliant. Yes, so this is a moment to celebrate the 50th anniversary, the Golden Jubilee. It's a joyful moment. At the same time, it's a time where to thank God for all the blessings of the 50 years of journey together as brothers and as fathers, and together also with the Salesian sisters, the Salesian family, also the lay volunteers who have been contributing a lot for the mission through the Salesian fathers or the Salesians of Don Bosco worldwide, but also here in Ethiopia, and especially now with this anniversary. What is, your wish for the future? I mean, when we celebrate here and when we ask you to wish for the Salesians of Don Bosco in Ethiopia for the coming 50 years?
Yeah, our wish is just to increase our numbers, or to be more efficient, and also to be able to open new schools, to open in new places, because the requests are there and the needs are there. So for us, we are looking forward not to decrease, but to increase our work and our cooperation, etc. So we hope for the next 10 years to prepare for the 60th anniversary to be more people, more school, and more possibility of educating young people.
Yes, so it's, thank you very much. And
you're welcome.
We wish you also as Catholic television, but also as the Archdiocese of Addis Ababa, on behalf of the Archdiocese, we wish you also beforehand, I mean, the celebration is coming up. We wish you many blessings for the coming years, but also we thank you for your service full of dedication the last 50 years. As Brother Cesare, we know you are a dedicated Salesian brother with education, with young people. You educated a lot, and with this office I have been coming the last 12 years maybe. I saw you here the first time. I think we met here in your office, and I wish you also personally for the coming years many blessings with your work. Still you are working, you are over 80, but however young, you continue your work. And many blessings for your missionary life to come.
Thank you very much. And we hope to celebrate the 6th anniversary after 10 years together. Thank you.
የተወደዳችሁ የሰላም ካቶሊክ ቲቪ ተመልካቾች የዛሬው ከሳሌዥያን አባቶች ወይም ደግሞ ከዶን ቦስኮ አባቶች ገዳም እዚህ ከብራዘር ቼዛሬ ጋር ቆይታ አድርገናል። ፕሮግራማችን በዚህ እንዘጋለን። ይህ ፕሮግራም መግቢያው ላይ እንደተናገርነው 50ኛ ዓመታቸውን ያከበሩ ስለነበር በልዩ ፕሮግራም እዚህ ቤታቸው ድረስ ጎተራ አዲስ አበባ መተን ይህንን ቃለ መጠየቅ አድርገናል። እንደዚሁም ደግሞ በዚሁ 50ኛ ዓመት ሲከበር በዛሬው ዕለት በመቀሌ ቤተክርስቲያን እዚያ ብፁዕ አባታችን አቡነ ተስፋ ስላሴ እንደዚሁም ደግሞ የገዳሙ አባቶች የተለያዩ ካህናት ምዕመናን በተገኙበት 50ኛ ዓመታቸውን ያከብራሉ። በሚቀጥለው ሳምንት ደግሞ በአዲስ አበባ በረድኤተ ክርስቲያን ማርያም ቁምስና እንደዚሁም ብፁዕ ካርዲናል እንደዚሁም ጳጳሳት፣ ካህናት ምእመናን ደናግል በተገኙበት ይህንን የ50ኛ ዓመት አገልግሎታቸውን በኢትዮጵያ የሚያከብሩ ይሆናል። በጸሎታችን እንድናስባቸው እየጠየቅኩኝ ስለ ሰጡት አገልግሎት ሁሉ በተመልካቾችም ስም ምስጋና አቅርቤያለሁ እና መልካም ቆይታ ይሁንልን። የእግዚአብሔር ስም የተመሰገነ ይሁን።